Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Captain Andy D. If you're watching me on Twitch or YouTube, I'd like to say a big hello to everybody. So what are we doing today? Well, it says it all in the title really. We're going to be having some fun and we're going to be taking this beautiful airplane, which is the Phantom, from where we are now in RAF Coningsby all the way to RAF Valley. And if we're going over that way, it'd be rude not to do the Mach loop really, wouldn't it? So this is the DC designs of the Phantom, and this is the Fleet Air Arms version colour scheme that's in the sim. And so my modern fleet of aircraft carriers includes the HMS Queen Elizabeth, Prince of Wales, amphib groups, but I've got no well, the UK has not got no massive carriers at the minute anyway, with steam catapults. They're more designed for the F-35 Lightning B, which is the 5th generation plane and can still take the Harrier Shah, as we've seen in the other episodes. This is going to be one of them videos where we're going to just test it. I only got this for Father's Day. My wife got it me for Father's Day, so I've had a little play with it. I'm not that massively confident, but let's jump inside the Phantom and get us started up. The iconic wing fold there, That's how it would be on a deck of a ship. Like I just said, I don't have the steam catapult versions. I have the amphib ships. But I'll have to have a look maybe on the Nimitz class and see if that's there. And I might do carrier ops with this, but it won't be obviously in UK waters. So let's jump on board. Hello if you're just joining us. So as we take a look inside the cockpit of the Phantom GR2, it was a Cold War aircraft, so it was designed in the 50s, 60s, so it's very much manual flight aircraft. Now the good thing about the GR2 is, for that reason, we have to fly it. We can't just rely on autopilot, but I will show you a limited function of the autopilot that we got. So we will look at that in the video. Just centralize myself. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, hold on. I had my mouse on. That's my bad. What's going on? Wow, look at that. It just got right. So we'll use the head tracker then. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and let's get it kicked off. The canopy's already open. So there's a few things we have to do with the DC Designs one. It's not like the free ones that Milvi's have allowed to come over to FSX Flight Sim. I'll show my age in it. But it's very clickable, and there's a lot of controls to look at, and also a lot of manual handling to do with the aircraft. So the navigation suite is ancient. But yeah, let's we've already done a few switches, so I'm just going to check them through. Fuel transfers are all in the normal position. Oxygen is in the normal position. Sidewinders are off until up in the air. I've already put the yaw, pitch and roll. This is the autopilot that I'm looking at here that says AFCS coupler and out. The coupler engages your heading or GPS mode, and if you had a flight plan inserted for Flight Sim, that is. And obviously, to engage it, you'd press the middle button, and then just after that you've got the alt engage, which holds an altitude. Okay, so that I'll pre-switch some of them. The oxygen can go from test to normal. The parking brake is set. Landing gear is down. The hook is up, and that's it. So it's very easy to start this aircraft. First thing we have to do is make sure we put our strobe and nav lights on. Switch our indicator lights over. Let's get them all the way around to bright. I know it's daytime, but it's better if they're on bright. We can have a pilot visibility in the outside, so we'll put that on. Obviously a lot of this, so I'm going to go receive only on that, and we're in standby on there. Instrument lighting, well, we'll put up anyway, but it's, like I said, it's daytime. So first thing we need to do is bring power onto the aircraft. Now when we bring power onto the aircraft, we have to take it from a state of inertia that's safe. Remember, these were designed to go off aircraft carriers and land on aircraft carriers, all variants, and we have to bring it to the ready to go. So down here we have our system, and we go to safe, to standby. We then place Gen 1 and Gen 2 on, and then we go to ready. As you can see, now we've gone to ready, systems are all lighting up. All that's left to do is start the aircraft. Now I've already got the engine masters set forward. I'm going to put the throttle control fuel selectors, little red dots there, in, and we're not going to waste too much time. We're going to go ahead and start number 1 and then number 2, so the left then right. Now these are old engines. The sound has come from the actual recording of the aircraft, which is quite cool. And as you can see now on the gauges, the analog gauge in front of me, on the right side from the bottom 1, 2, 3 up is the engine RPM gauge, and that is now creeping up. And now you should be able to hear as well the engine whine. When that goes past 50%, I'll be able to put the other one up. So we could jump outside, because the Phantoms are actually really loud aircraft. So if we jump outside, you'll be able to hear that a lot better. The heat booms coming in. It has good dynamic sound as well. There's the pilots. The wing fold's still up. Buildings in the way there, but you can see the heat bloom there as well. You can see the haze behind the aircraft. That's from the left engine, and that is noisy, you know. The Phantom was famous for being noisy. There we go. Let's bring that back. A few things we're going to change here then is our map, what we want displayed. Ah, do you know what I didn't do? I didn't import a route, so that's okay. That's okay. So now we're looking at the RPM well over 50%. We're going to start number 2. Here we go. I just need to have a look at my head tracker a minute. I don't know why my head tracker is all the way over there. I'm going to stop it. Okay, I'm then going to go to I'm going to start my head tracker again. Okay, that is better. Coming up on the RPM then. So there really is not a lot of stuff to really prepare the aircraft. I'm just dimming the gun sight that's up there, and we can brighten up the scale, and we can also brighten up the map underneath so I can see what I'm doing. So that'd be nice, hey. And from there, oh, we'll have a little bit more brightness on the gun sight. There we go. So we're just looking then around, make sure everything's set up. Both engines are good. The next thing we need to do is select our flaps to position 1, but first of all let's do the wings. So I'm going to press the wings, and then we're going to jump outside and have a look at them coming down. While we're out here, we're going to be doing our control surface checks. Jump back in board then. We're really happy. I don't know why that has gone all the way up there. Let's bring that down. And let's get flying, shall we? That's why we're all here. Let's see how they did it old school. So, we're good. Taxi light could go on. Wings fold is out. Form lights will be on. Strobe navs on. Landing will be on at the taxiway. We're on. Transmit and receive. TACAN is set for Valley. There we are, 21X, so that could go to transmit and receive also. And we are squawking, yeah, mode 4, which is good. Pit RT could go on now. We're good to go. So let's just close the canopy. That's a little catch underneath here. Canopy closed, locked. And that's it. We're ready to taxi, people. So we are going to just make out the runway there. If I could just get a little bit more. Yeah, well, that's going to have to do. Okay, so taxiing the aircraft is quite straightforward. What I said earlier, so we're going to put our wings to take off our flaps, and we've got a 5-degree pitch, which is about where it is anyway. So all we do is take our handbrake off, put a little bit of power on the aircraft, And then let's get out of our parking spot here at Coningsby. And we're going to go all the way up to the runway. Just have a look there. Make sure nothing's coming to hit us. We've had it before on this channel where aircraft vehicles just decide to take us out. Obviously, if anyone wants a copy of this route or a checklist so you can do your own startup procedure with a Phantom, then just let me know and I'll sort it out for you. I must say she feels very good on the taxiing, so very stable on the taxiway, which is encouraging. There's my favourite aircraft, the Typhoon Eurofighter in the hangar. Course for Valley is 302. Happy days. But we're going to go to heading mode. Where's my little bug? We'll set that on the runway when we get there. Fuel is full. Just put a bit of power on the aircraft there. The Phantom, although it was a superb jet aircraft of its time, it was like flying an armoured tank by all accounts. I've done some research, and I've done some research on the flight dynamics, so it'd be interested to see how this one performs compared to the dynamics of the other aircraft that are modelled within the flight sim. Low level squawk is on, channels on, unicom's on. It is actually still sunny in the UK, but with the sim sometimes it likes to put us in night time an hour earlier. So what I've done is I've just rolled back to today. It's still hot, it's the same weather, but earlier on today at about lunchtime. So we're coming to runway 25 here at Coningsby. So we'll do an outbound heading there from Coningsby TACAN of 251 nautical miles. No, 251 degrees for about 8 nautical miles. So we'll just get out to the runway here. Doesn't matter, we don't have to line up centre line. You very rarely would in a fighter jet because you go out in formation. So we're going to do that. Pretend we've got a wingman because I ain't got an airshow assistant or anything like that. So I'm going to line up on the right just past the identifier of 25, and my wingman will just be, there we go, handbrake will reset. So my wingman would literally be his nose to the back of the aircraft, and he'll be able to keep formation, and when I roll he rolls. So that's the point of that. Okay, I don't really know how the headed headed works. I don't know what that is. Is that headed? That's standby, that's heading, that's TACAN. What is that then? Is that heading? Don't know, but let's just put the heading on. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know if the heading hold's gonna work or function, but we could just check anyway. So 251. It's about there really, isn't it? Well, that to me is definitely headed. So definitely be on TACAD when we go there. Okay, so we could set the TACAD here actually, which is, give me 2 seconds, Coningsby TACAD. I think it's 48 X-ray or 48 Yankee. We're on runway 25, so let's put in the 25 TACAD. Approach. TACAD 25. We won't bother with the course, we'll just use it. We're just going to use it as a distance measuring equipment. So yeah, so 111 decimal 1, 48 X-ray. So we can whack that up to 48 X-ray. There we go, transmit receive it. That'll be 111 decimal 1. We could capture the VOR if we could. Okay, so that's on and set. Landing lights can now go on. Taxi can stay on. Wing lights can go on. So basically all the lights that we want to have on ready for takeoff. Just make sure my altitude barrow is correct. Oh, there she goes. She is now. Okay, so if I go to TACAD now, see, and I put my course to 251. To 251, this will give me a DME reading. Now, like I said, I've done this route, but because this is old school aircraft, we're going to fly it as if we've got our knee boards on. Or like you see on the side on the slots, reference cards, and that's what these are. Look, so it says there degrees, headings, variations, and that's what you'd basically have on your knee. So we're ready to rock and roll. TACAD is on, we are set. So basically I want to go out of here 251 degrees roughly until I get to Cranwell VOR. So Cranwell is 117.4. Let's actually put Cranwell in. But the reason I'm going to do that is because I could change over to my nav. And from Cranwell we want an outbound of 272 degrees. So if I go from TACAD, so we know there that it's 12 miles away, which is correct, and we want 272 degrees from Cranwell. We could just switch over our headed, we could just switch over to TACAD to the VOR selector, which is down there on the radios. So let's go and have some fun. We're eating away some fuel, so let's go. And obviously it's full afterburner takeoff, foot on the toe brakes. Bring her up first and let her rip. Our airspeed is an old analog gauge. We're looking around 160 to start our rotational. Gear up, past 200, flaps up. Then we're going to climb to about 10,000 feet. We cut the afterburners, trim the aircraft for a gentle climb. With this aircraft you're going to have to come back quite considerably on the power. Okay, we've got a good climb there. So we're now on track and on course. And what I said, we want about 8 miles. The wind's blowing us slightly off there. Just trying to keep the needle. Trying to get that centered. That is us flying. Now, keep a positive attitude. 7, about 8 miles we're going to turn to that course of 272 degrees. So change my heading mark to 272. So I'm just going to put it just after west. So now, and then I'm going to go across, and I'm going to switch down to 2 miles. Pretty much centered there on our course heading of 272. And then when we're level there, we have a little bit of variation. We're going to go up to about 10,000 feet, and I'm going to engage the coupler here to see what happens. So I am keeping an eye on this. And just a little bit of trim there to keep us climbing. And I'm going to reduce my thrust. By reducing the thrust, we're going to conserve a lot of fuel for us to be able to use over the Mach loop. A little bit of a high pitch. Just trying to set the needles there. That's pretty bob-odd. So like I said, we are aiming, oh, there, 10,000 feet, so let's level off for a start. So what we're going to do is I'm going to engage coupler, and I'm going to engage out, and I'm going to engage the autopilot. Let's see what happens. So we should start leveling off. The aircraft should start leveling off. From this position I could turn off the wing, the landing lights are already off, the taxi could come off, form lights could come off because it's a clear day, so my wingman could see me easily. I'm just looking on my chart opposite me, and we're holding course pretty well. Hold on 2 seconds, we engage. Okay, we're gonna have to level off here, so I'm going to engage till we get to 0. We'll see it climbing back through to 0, and then we can engage the must be around 10,000 feet. So we're just going to trim that for 10,000 there. We give it a helping hand on the trim. That's 16 miles done, and then we've got a VOR, another VOR to navigate from, which is pretty good. And you can see it here on our needles in front of us. Okay, shows we've got a bit of a crosswind. That's okay. So what, 13,000 looks good enough. Let's just slowly pull it up. But now I'm going to engage altitude hold. But it should try and manage our altitude for us. There you go. It's around 12,000 feet, which isn't bad for an old girl. It's actually 13,000, so it's bob-odd. Okay, and we're in obviously 21 miles now, we're at 272. Whoa, what's going on? So let's engage again the coupler. Okay, well it doesn't like that function, so that answers that. So I'm going to turn back onto course. So actually this time I wonder what it is. That? Have I got it on the wrong? Is that transmit and receive? I bet it is, isn't it? So 115 now I want, so 115, we'll try in this setting, decimal 7. The aircraft's fighting me, so let me just take that off. And I want a course there of 286 at Trent. So we're going to put 286 in my course. I'm going to fly towards now the Trent VOR. And the little arrows come up to show that we are actually flying towards it. I really don't want that. Shut up. So yeah, we're a bit away from Trent VOR. But I want roughly the 286 degree. What are you pitching down? I'm trying to come back into the Trent VOR there. I've got to wait for my needle to come across to let me know how I'm getting on. And I'm 4 miles away from it apparently. Right, starting to move in now, so I'm going to straighten up the aircraft. Then when I get there I'll be able to leave on the 286 radial. I'm going to leave now on the 286 radial. And there we go, we went over the VOR. Just trying to find the, it's very finicky. It's very finicky to do all this on your own without GPS. So I know we're on course, but we slightly left the track, so I'm just going to track back in there. We've got about, I think, 20 miles to run, and then I'm just going to be having to fly headings, which is going to be interesting, because I don't believe I've got another VOR for a while. Although we could probably cheat on this VOR because on this VOR it's much the same heading. So I'm just waiting now, and that centralises. I'm going to be on track. Come middle of the aircraft, I'll be able to go wings level. There we go, so on wings level now. Just want to hold the altitude. Oh, slightly right. Keeping it in the second there. So obviously we're high altitude, but we're going to keep that down. To be fair, that's we're not actually far off course there. So what I want to do is level up the wings, and I'll just adjust the course to suit us now. There we go. So actual fact there, we've got a new course of 283 degrees. Just try to keep straight on 283. God, it's pretty windy up here. The aircraft is doing some rather peculiar things. What I'm trying to do is just stable up my VSI, just trim out the aircraft so it'll just fly like it should. It's just okay, so headed to our next waypoint then. We're actually going to leave it on this track to Mokta. And from there we're going to go south against 230 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the obviously the VOR side of things, because we've got no more VORs to follow. So what I'm going to be following now is just my directions I've got on my kneeboard, like they would have done old school years ago, which is going to be cool. We're climbing again. The only thing is now I've got no DME distance to read. However, I have got my chart here, so I'm going to start that 230 degree turn, I believe. So let's go and aim for 230 degrees. So what I'm doing now is I'm loosely following heading guides that I've written down. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Trying to balance up the aircraft as best I can here. Tell you what, it is good fun to fly though. It is very good fun. You can feel that the aircraft is heavy, and is it my favourite warbird in a simulator? Not by a long shot, no. I think you all know what my favourite aircraft is. My favourite aircraft is the Sea Harrier. I'm going to level up now on this heading. There we go. Just trying to let the aircraft trim itself. Just slight movements, because it's a very heavy on the trim. I think the flight dynamics for the trimming is well off. I really do, because this power setting and the trim I've got selected, it should be good. That should stay roughly at 0 foot per minute now. Right. Keep an eye on our direction there, 230. And we're actually heading now down into we've got a bit of a wind shift, so let's get back on track. There we go, the attitude indicator, we are totally level again. Look at the trim again. I'm just going to put another bit of up trim on and you watch the difference. See that? So we're going from a constant down now to a constant up attitude. It's quite frustrating really. Because you can trim this aircraft to stay level, because it was actually designed as a multi-role, like bomber, strike, strafe. You know, so that's quite disappointed that the flight dynamics on the simulator is pretty poor. From this next one then we're going to be going to 275 degrees. So this heading I quite like, so let's just keep that straight and up there. So you got any questions? Jump on in the chat, let me know. You can see now the Welsh countryside coming over the right side of the aircraft. And we'll soon be heading a right turn to Lake Bala and the Bala Bridge, and we're gonna do a strife run on it and then get the hell out of there via the Mac Loop, which would be quite good. So we're going to attempt to blow up the bridge basically. That's what we're doing. Going to pretend to blow up a bridge. And another thing is, it's actually got a co-pilot seat with this aircraft. Basically switches and stuff that you can't operate anyway. It's got good visibility, which I do like, to be honest. Okay, what we're doing, yeah, we can go slowly down now. I'm not too bothered because we're going to start doing a bombing run in a few minutes time. I want my pip center. Get back on course a little bit. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Let's hear the noise of it. Phantom was really known at being loud anyway. Really loud. Well, you could definitely hear a Phantom coming, they used to say. Now we're going to head 275 degrees, so I'm just going to 275, let's go. Let's go fly a kite. As we're heading into the Welsh territories. Now I've stopped the F3, as you might have noticed, short of 275. That's because select our missile payload, auto, bomb, right forward, selected ready. Okay, good. So I'm actually now basically in a visual search for a lake, which is Lake Bala, which I'm sure is that one over to my left, which it, no, it's going to be off my nose. There she is. So what I'm looking for here is a bridge. That's my target, is a bridge. reckon it's going to be around there. You'll see now the descent angle we've got on this aircraft. The idea is to keep the bridge into focus. Our speed automatically picks up anyway. And I'm not using hardly any fuel, which is good. This is where it gets fun now. We're going to fly and do the Mach loop, stay low level here. Bit bumpy. Pickle. That is the payload dropped. Now we'll stay quite low level until we get to the loop. We're not even pushing the aircraft yet, which is good to know. There's the Three Counties Road. We're headed out to the Valley of the Shadow of Death. Just ahead of us there you can see the twins. There's CAD East, CAD West. Just on the gun sight pipper. I'm now going to get rid of that illumination. Actually I can just turn it off. Get comfortable and let's whiz around the Mach loop. And you're going to be seeing it live because we're not doing a practice run. So this part of the stream is all about us escaping and evading low level. Let's whack the afterburners on. Got to be careful with this aircraft. The G limits are a lot less than the modern fighters. You see there as we start coming up just a little bit too high. That's good. As we come over this tree, revert a little bit, clear the ridges, cover out on our final course, pull back. Afterburner on. And we're just going to let it sink without pulling back the G. Bit scary because beyond all your and now we're at full chat. Can the Phantom get to Mach decimal 1? Well, we're going to find out. Yes, we're at speed of sound now. I like just clipping over the trees and stuff. I know I'm wide, but that's not the point here. We're just playing. We're back on the power. Back on the power. Follow the lake around to the exit of the loop. And now we'll exit the loop just as strategically as where we went through. Plenty of fuel, so we can burn through our afterburners. Speed of sound. We'll just level the aircraft out there, which is cool. So that is a portion of the back loop done. You notice I stay quite low level here. That's because we're going to exit the way we would exit anyway. The jets will pull back on the stick. Watching my clearance. And all we're doing now is heading to our landing site, which is RAF Valley. Now, so for this, I'm actually going to set my heading the same as my course indicator, just so I could get a, I should start getting a readout as well. Let's just trim up a minute. So, let me just bring up the approach plates. What a fun aircraft though. It does handle well. I've got to say that. It really does handle well. If you want a decent, instead of the freeware mills, if you want a decent Phantom to play with, then I do actually strongly suggest this aircraft. What altitude are we at here? 5.2, let's just cut back a little bit. Okay, my graphs is playing up on my other tablet, it's typical. Let's go ahead and put our oh, we can't till our, we'll put the other lights on there for now. I forgot the landing gear won't allow you. Let's head towards our TACAN. See the needle coming round. I'm going to show you how not to land a Phantom F4-Gr2. Let's see. You know, stranger things have happened. I've got it right a couple of times. Let's see if we can get it right today. Uh, 108. It's finally come to live. Decimal 4. The backup. So we also then as a backup would have put that to 302. But as you see, it's already picked up there the actual the reader. So actually we'll go with that one. Probably a little bit more accurate if I'm honest. So what are we looking for on landing the aircraft? Well, we're looking to come down now to about 1,000 feet runway altitude. And we want to be travelling around about 300 knots. Do you see what I see? I actually quite like that descent profile, we'll leave it there. A little bit of wind here. And the reason, because we haven't got that precise navigation as you would in an airliner, the reason we come and do this sort of approach is we fly over it, come back basically, is so we can get the runway, which is there, look, which is not on my track as indicated. I need to really get down now. Don't freak out, we're not landing. About 1,000 feet. Just try and line up with the runway. And actually I'm going to put my course now directly on the runway. Just there. Lost a little bit of altitude. What we're going to do is bring the throttles back. Turn for an intercept course. Literally we're going to go round and round and round. Try to keep the level. Drift. Go for the downwards leg. A little bit of a balloon there. See our speed's bled off. So flaps. And I'm going to put my gear down for drag. And I've killed the throttle on purpose now, so we've got no throttle on the aircraft whatsoever. Then we're going to come in. Just telling us our speed's a bit dodgy. A bit fast. Deploy the air brake. Air brake's out. Coming back to land. Air brake back in. Touchdown. Air brake out. If we look outside, we should have the chute. No, obviously not. And that is us safely. I'm pretty happy with that landing for this aircraft anyway. So take that restrictor out. Flaps go up. Canopy can come up. Send everyone with a bomb. Yeah, with a bomb. Wing lights can go off. Form lights can go off. And we're just going to roll to the end of the runway and we'll shut her down. Just make sure we're actually, I'm just going to come off my track, let's just make sure we're not trailing or anything. And actually what we can do as well is fold our wings up. So that's what we'll do, we're going to fold the wings, we don't need them up. That's how they would be taxied. Obviously in a more confined space they would be taxied on an aircraft carrier, so more confined. And I really did enjoy that. I hope you enjoyed that particular stream. Oh, I didn't even. Oh, that's why the tacho weren't registering. I didn't even have. Oh, you absolute fruitcake! Oh no, I did have that transmit and receive. I didn't have my comm radios on though. We're going to go to the ready hangar. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to the ready hangar. We're actually going to put it inside one of these hangars. Let's see if we can. I have no idea if the scenery will have it. I don't particularly care. So I'm going to show you how to navigate a course in the Phantom as well, using a GPS system, using the actual GPS system, and augmenting the actual autopilot. So I do want to show you that, but we'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Can we go in this one? Door looks open, doesn't it? Looks inviting. Yeah, check that out. This is RAF Valley. I just got the scenery from Flight Sim TO free. Look at that. That's where a nice old warbird should be, nice and cared for, in a hangar. Parking brake set. I'm going to reset the trim. Blah 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 blah. Stable trim. That is massive though, isn't it? So we want to set it at the second one for takeoff, which is about 5%, which is there. And that's pretty cool. So it's quite easy to shut this aircraft down. Well, it would be if you could actually just use these switches here. But I'm going to show you something now. So I'm going to take away the fuel. Look at that, the engine is still running. I'm then going to try and click the click spot. It doesn't work. So what I have to do is rather annoyingly come off this, and we have to go down through the little quick and actually bring it off like that, and that's how I put them on also. We didn't put the sidewinder on. That could go off. That go back to defaults. That's off. So now we've done that, Gen 1 and Gen 2 will come off. Obviously we've got to make sure all our switches are off and safe, which they are. Oh yes, we're in standby anyway because I was an idiot. That can now be standby. And yeah, it's just a case now of turning off all your lights. So nav, strobe, all the lights are off. Right, so let's put the chocks on. So are they the chocks or are they the tie downs? Oh, look at that. Okay, so we're gonna have to do this slightly different. There we go. Got this side of the aircraft. Where am I? There we go. Have I put the chocks on then? The chock should be on, just unless there's no power. Then obviously we just go back to standby and safe. And obviously, yes, West Parking 4. We don't need to have any GSX interference. That'll go back round. We'll just tidy up what we've done. Standby can go off. We'll leave that like that. That could go off, that could go off then if it's not doing anything. It's on a rain dispersal, could come off. And yeah, that is everything that safe. Obviously, we should have really made safe the weapons anyway, but where was it? Auto back down. That's radar. Dogfights. Oh, auto bombers on there, wasn't it? Let's get rid of that. So that could go back to back to off. And we are now happily sat back at our base station. Well, not at our base station, but at a station here in RAF Valley. That to me was a absolutely hoot of a fly. It was pretty good, and I'm now going to show you, okay, how you could put a flight plan in here. I'll power it up and show you how it looks on there, and how you would follow it. So let's just do that. So I'm going to just press escape here on my menu. I'm going to go to the main menu, continue. Oh, very boring this bit. Obviously all our little gumps from Simulator World comes on. Nice and quiet now. And then I'll show you how we actually put a flight plan into the simulator. And for that, I'm actually going to capture my cursor. So, is there any planes, anybody's watching, any planes you want me to do? Just drop me a message. Just drop me a message and we'll do our best to accommodate. Pretty warm tonight. Okay, so we're now at the section of the screen, as you can see my mouse here. Hello. Okay, so obviously to create a flight plan, you can use a couple of different options. You could go onto any free flight planning software, zoom in and look at the points you want to navigate, and then, like, if you wanted to do the loop like me, or a Lake District run, or the 500 in Scotland, then just come off it and fly around it, but make sure you put a start point back before your origin airport, your arriving airport. So how I do it normally is, obviously at the minute this is set for Coningsby, so let's say I was going to fly from Coningsby, yeah, and I wanted to go from E10. Before I select E10, as a tip for you, is go to Space More, Load Save, Load from this PC. Now wherever you save your flight simulator flight plans, and do that, because what I do is I create them on Navigraph, and if you don't know how to do that, let me know and I'll do it for you. Well, I could show you actually quickly. So I actually created this one on Navigraph because there's no such route that exists for this. Double click it, and that's roughly the route we have just flew. Look. What's going on here? There we go. So, well, you could go to a TACAD 3, ILS 3 oh, see, it doesn't show the TACADs on Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, and also this one here is a waypoint I added out for that bridge. And we actually covered bomb the wrong bridge. I think we took out this one or this one. We should have flew more precise and took out that one. That was the one I was going for. Very naughty, innit? Obviously we had our normals, and obviously the VORs that we navigate from and to are here. Charge the frequency. There were the frequencies I switched to. There's another one there, and I use that as well. It's obviously got a TACAD channel. So we departed runway 25, yeah, but we're not actually, because we need to set our ramp as departure. There you go. And we'll be on runway heading anyway. Departure's been 25, yeah. And that's how we do it. Now, how do you do that? How do we create a simple route like this on Navigraph then? So, Navigraph. Let's find Navigraph. Here we go. So you should now see Navigraph opening up. And this was the exact route that I made. And I'm going to show you from scratch, okay? But we'll do it in a little... why are we in Cameroon? Okay. So how I do it. So then we've got Marham there. Coningsby should be there. Click on it. And then you've got Coningsby there, and then just press add to route. And we're going to have it as our origin, and we can add that. As soon as it comes up, select the departure that you want. So we're going to go 25. And there you go. And we've already started a route. Now I used the Cranwell VOR for a first reference. And then we used... So what I used the Cranwell VOR, sorry, for the TACA VOR for the first reference. So I'll click on that, and I'll just add it to route. And you'll see now that it's added it to the route up here. Now we wanted to go and do the MAC loop, correct? There's Trent. So we go into Trent, and we click on Trent, and we add that to the route after Cranwell, which it has done. And that's all we do. That's all I do to enter a route in. Now I would quite like to have another VOR, because that was better for the navigation in the Phantom. It's better to have a VOR to go off. Now we could go up to Valley. Yeah, let's do that. So if we click on Wolsey VOR and add that to route after Trent, and then we click on Valley VOR. No, we're going to have to zoom in a little bit there. Add to route after Wallersley, and then we could come, look, and we could come and do the back loop from this direction. What am I doing? So the back loop starts here. Now we haven't got another VOR, but what I have got is you could Google the route for the back loop. So from this direction then, you'd take off on runway 13. So you'd come out of here. And then what you want to try and do is just loop up to Bala and come in. The other alternative is come via Barmouth down here. Just follow the city up to Donegal. And how do we do that then? How do we do that? Well, all I have to do, and all you have to do with Navigraph, is right click anywhere on this point. So if you want to be really precise, zoom in, and let's right click on the middle of the estuary. And that there now says use a waypoint or add to route. Now if you wanted to name it something, like I've named my MAC loop waypoint, you could. So we could put add user waypoint, and in there I could put Barmouth entrance or something stupid. So there we go, Barmouth entrance global. So it saves, create it, and then I'm going to add it to the routes. Add after Valley, correct. Now a lot of the loop obviously is visual flying. Okay, so when you come down then further, all you need to do is have a reference, because during the summer especially, got a lot of trees down here, and if you're used to flying this sort of thing in the winter, or you know, in the colder months and there isn't so much trees, you're not going to see clearly around this section here, because obviously here you've got two roads. You will take this one off the fork off Donegal, but actually coming up left then and coming this way, sometimes you miss it and you go this way. So I created a waypoint called MAC loop, and I'm just going to add to route, add, and that is pretty much then you'd obviously fly around the MAC loop, you'd come back out. There's Valley again, so you want to come into Valley for its, so I always put Carnarvon Castle in as a waypoint, so we're going to add to routes, add after MAC loop of course, and then we're just going to go to Valley, click on Valley, and then we're going to add that to a route. We'll put it as a destination. So give it 2 seconds. Sorry about that. Okay, so that was important though. Approaches, and then all you have to do is select your approach. So we're going to come in attack on ILS, and we're going to add final to route. And then to join our route up, if you click onto your so this is our initial fix, add that to route, add after Carnarvon Castle, and you now have a weird looking but a loop. But don't forget, you're going to go round the back loop, and you could just come straight back out and down, and that's quite a good. And you've got your distance, your headings, your mileage all on there. So how do we then get that into the flight simulator and into all the planes that don't have GNS? So we're going to export, and we're literally going to go to FS 2020, type PLN, and then you're going to save it as your .pll. It won't do it. Get off OneDrive. So you'd save it as that. Press save. Yeah, let's replace it. And that is it. You can then close your Navigraph down. And then when we come into here, we can actually go, okay, you know what? That other route was better. So I'm going to load from PC, where you keep them. And you see that's a lot better. And let's just zoom back into the parking. I've gone too far with the zoom. There we are. I'm going to set that as our departure. Flight conditions are in. 31's already in. Don't know why it's sending me out to oh no, that's Carnarvon Castle, sorry, in the Mac loops if you're scrolling. What is it doing here? So actually we're going to put automatic, and there you go. Our route's back in basically, yeah. Because it doesn't know the TACAN, it knows the VLR route, so it's going, what are you doing, you idiot? Once that's done, just check your weather, is how you want it. Click fly, and then it's gonna, we'll load back up. Let's have a quick swig of pop. And I'm just going to power on the systems just to show you we're not actually doing the flight, okay? So I'm going to power on the systems and show you how the route looks actually on your display and what you would engage for it to work. And you could try it yourself. So quickly, let's just go to fly. That's what I'm keeping my cursor on. We don't need boarding, thank you. Okay. So what does it look like? So what I always do is, if I'm going back to a place like here at 28 X-ray, is Valley. So I will also put in the next VOR on our route as a backup. Now we know what they are because we've done our chart. So if I was to reopen my nav graphs on my tablet, I'd get that ready. But first, let's just show you. Let's get this out of the way. Let's come to here, and I'm just going to go on to put power onto the aircraft. It is really straightforward, okay? This is your scope, so you've got to keep your wings level while it's doing it. I'm just unloading that one. Okay, so what we're doing then, we're going to go to cage. And what cage does, it just sticks that there. So let's just take the brightness down. There we go, I found it on my tablet anyway. Okay, so we're going to move our selector to here. And now you're going to see, bring the scale up. You're going to see a different line than we had before, okay? So I'm just making this brighter. As I zoom in here, I'm just going to concentrate on this, so off. Track IR, Okay, and if I scale out, you will see now we've got a route. Now the route on here, it's got like a wiggly line to our VOR, because that's our first VOR there from, obviously, we're here, so we're going to take off our runway 25, obviously, and then this will change picture. We'll go out to Cranwell, and then we're going up. You can't actually do it, scale out. That's as large scale as we get. But as you can see, that's your route. Yeah, so you'd fly probably about that scale at 12 o'clock. That's what I did last time. And the other thing just to note is always put your first VOR into your nav. Well, you're actually going to be headed out of runway headed 251 anyway. Cranwell is there, so actually so yeah, 117.4. So that's what we would want to actually put in. So 117.4 would come down to here. Obviously put it onto the right channel. 117.4 would also back this up. So this is the actual VOR. We want a 272 degree heading outbound. So obviously we'll turn this round. So this is the knob I've been turning for the course. Okay, that's our backup now. We know that is VOR1 set. Put the volume up if you wish. Obviously we're not going to fly it. Then all you do to fly the GPS and let the aircraft fly it for you is you come down to your autopilot panel, which is here. After you start up, you always engage your roller pitch anyway. Altitude, if you don't want to engage altitude, don't bother, but you'll need to engage your coupler. Basically that is putting the INS, the old system that's like a GPS on INS, onto the buzz. And then when you're ready to go, you'll hit AFCS engage, or if you've got a shortcut, which doesn't seem to work, I'm going to have to do that. And if you want out on, so if you wanted the whole autopilots, altitude, GPS or TACAD, everything on there, that would be the setup you want it. Obviously flying GPS, you'd go to comms mode, and as you can see now, that's 251, and it's got a reading of 3 DME. Yeah, so that's your first waypoint, if you like. Then you can see, did we just see there? There, we see on this scale, there's the Cranwell VOR, and you see it's TACAN, and its symbol, TACAN symbol, is there, which is pretty good. So that is how we would do it, and then all you do is you fly, get to the altitude you want, stick back, fly, and that would be COM means to fly off our inputted route. Now it's not, you might think, well, that's a bit unrealistic. Well, no, it isn't actually, because you fly in twos in this aircraft, and actually in the back seat, the NAVO, or the WSO, which is the Weapons Specialist Officer, he would have done all the routing, and he would be plotting the route for you as you're going. So it's pretty realistic. Pretty realistic, and it's fun, you know. It's not meant to be a study level aircraft, but it's got bits you can mess with, which is pretty cool. So that is how you do your routes, that is how you'd fly it, and then you'll engage it. And obviously if you wanted to lower your altitude, you'll take that off. If you wanted to come, you see what it did there? It moved the stick, look, to its headed, look at that. So you can see that it actually works, yeah? It won't do it for altitude. But if I take the engage off, you can have the coupler ready to go. As soon as you press engage, it goes for one extreme, and then it will try and center up onto there. So that is how you would fly it, and what you need to press to get going. So I hope that has been helpful to you as well. I hope you've enjoyed the stream today. I've really enjoyed having you here, and I really enjoy you know, feedback and stuff like that. So obviously thanks for watching, and until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon. Thank you very much. Thank you for supporting me, viewing my streams, and thank you very much for following. It means a lot. I do this for fun, and but also a little bit of level of immersion for you. So thanks very much. Till next time, stay safe.